We've been telling you right here on Fox about the escalating tensions along the Ukrainian-Russian border. But what is the history of the conflict and friendship between these two nations? And how do we get to this point where all-out war could be days away? Here's a quick history lesson.
Rich soil and a defensive barrier. That's what Ukraine means to Russia. But the historic conflict dates back to the 9th century when Scandinavian Vikings moved their capital to Kyiv in Ukraine, a legacy President Vladimir Putin often invokes when arguing that Ukraine is bound to Russia. Now, Russia was attacked for centuries and eventually overrun in the 13th century. The Vikings relocated in and around Moscow, and Russia didn't have a leg to stand on. It was completely indefensible. It had no mountains, no deserts, few rivers. Flash forward, 18th century. Peter the Great and Empress Catherine the Great, same last name, expanded the Russian Empire by taking Ukraine again. Russia had its buffer zone. Now they could defend themselves against attacks from the Baltic Sea. That changed in 1917, the aftermath of the Russian Revolution. The Ukrainian national movement for self-determination emerged, and the Ukrainian People's Republic was declared. At last, Ukraine got its independence. Flash forward to World War II. Fearlessly and ferociously fighting with the Red Army, the Ukrainians helped beat back the Nazis, losing at least 8 million soldiers, more than 5.5 million civilians. How were they rewarded? The Soviet Union swallowed up the entire nation. It stayed that way until 1991, when the Soviet Union collapsed. Ukraine broke away and once again was on its own. Russia kept a watchful eye on its breakaway brother until they overthrew their pro-Russian leader and reached out to the West with the goal of joining NATO. That crossed the line for Putin. He took back Crimea by force in 2014, 60 years after it was given to Ukraine, claiming the Russian-speaking people asked for help. Now Vladimir has virtually surrounded Ukraine as the people in the world wait to see if they will try and take the nation back.
Standing in their way is 150,000 up to 250,000 Ukrainians who know how to fight, especially my next guest. Vitali Klitschko did not need that history lesson. He's a Ukrainian citizen who brought great fame and acclaim to his country as the heavyweight champion of the world before retiring with his belt in 2013. He always had a fierce national pride, never backing off from conflict, especially now as the mayor of Kyiv, a job he's held since 2014. Is he ready, perhaps, for his toughest opponent to date, the entire army of Russia? Let's ask him. He joins us now from the Ukraine. Welcome, Vitali. Great to see you.
Good to see you also.
Mr. Mayor, does this remind you of the moments before a fight when you have the robe on and you're walking into a ring? You knew a fight was inevitable. Do you have that same feeling now?
No. It's no way. It's a total different story. It's not sport, it's hard reality. It's if somebody 10 years ago told the big part of Ukraine will be occupied, Crimea occupied from Russian, Donetsk, Lugansk will be occupied from Russian forces, and more than 13,000 people, 14,000 Ukrainians died in this war. It's nobody believe in that, but today is reality. Today is reality because more than 100 Russian soldiers stay in the border of Ukraine, and everybody in the world talking about possible aggression against Ukraine. We are peaceful people. We are a peaceful country. We're not aggressive to anyone. But if somebody make aggression against Ukraine, we have to defend our independence. We have to defend our country. We have to defend our families. It's not sport. It's not joke. It's everybody pay attention, and many people in Ukraine very nervous.
If you listen to Vladimir Putin, he says Ukrainians are one with Russia. They should be one with Russia. We have a long kinship together. This is false, this reach out to the West. So therefore, I'm going to almost do you a favor by go ahead and taking the capital. What do you say to that Russian sentiment?
The reason of this conflict, because Vladimir Putin want to rebuild Soviet Empire, have vision to make Russian Empire, and Ukraine, yes, of course, one of the largest country in Europe, have to be as part of his vision in his empire.
Right.
We was in Soviet Union. We don't want back to USSR. We see our future as modern European democratic country.
Vitali, a couple of things. I read that you're very disappointed the way the Germans are acting. Very disappointed the way the Germans are acting. They gave you 5,000 helmets. They might even be charging you for it. They're not letting arms go through their country. What's your reaction to the Germans' lack of support?
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for United States. United States delivered the defensive weapon for Ukraine. It's very important to us, to have support, political support, and financial support from United States. What the Germans announced about 5,000 helms is joke. But by the way, thank you for the helms.
Yeah, thank you for the helmets. You said what are you going to send me next? Pillows. Vitali, there's a report that there was a conversation between the presidents, Biden and Zelensky, at which time President Biden says, get ready for impact. The invasion's going to happen, and they're going to sack the Capitol. You're the mayor of that Capitol. If that is in fact the case, what do you say to people who say that you guys are going to get run over?
Actually, we're also responsible for municipal defense, for civilian defense in our country, and all men's actually ready to be a soldier to defend our country. I'm not involved in a conversation between United States President and President of Ukraine. That's why I can't give a commentary about the conversation.
And lastly, there's a report that just says if they come for your capital, that you're going to fight too. Are you physically going to get out there with the Ukrainian army and fight to repel the Russian forces?
As a former soldier, I promise to defend my country, and I have to keep my promising. Yes, of course, I have to defend. I have to defend my city and defend my future, defend my family.
I hear you. Vitali Klitschko, it's tenuous time in the Ukraine. I'm sure the people of Kyiv are glad you're in charge. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for support. Thank you.
You got it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.